Mass murder near the campus of UC Santa Barbara. Next in the KUSI News at 6. A college community reeling from a shooting rampage that left 7 dead, including the gunman. We'll bring you the updates as this story unfolds.
More bad press for SeaWorld. Protesters are demanding the park release their killer whales.
And as we recover from devastating wildfires, the Padres are saying thank you to our firefighters.
As Memorial Day weekend, I'll have your full weather forecast. In May, gray. How long will it stay? I'll have the answer coming right up. The KUSI News at 6 starts now.
This is the KUSI News at 6.
Good evening, everyone. I'm John Dupree.
And I'm Kristen Casado. Thanks for joining us tonight.
We're following a developing story of a shooting rampage in Southern California.
Police say at least 7 people were killed, including the gunman, and several others were hurt.
A white male, 20 years old. For multiple gunshot victims in front of Ivy Deli.
In just minutes, Friday night, witnesses say a gunman inside a black BMW opened fire in the college town of Isla Vista near the University of California, Santa Barbara.
All of a sudden, a bunch of people from outside just started running into the store, and we were all like, just take cover, take cover.
Once police were on scene, authorities say the gunman fired at them, then took off in his car. They say the suspect was spotted. That prompted another exchange of gunfire. Shortly after, the gunman crashed into a parked vehicle.
The deputies approached the crashed vehicle and determined that the suspect within that vehicle was dead from an apparent gunshot wound to the head.
Police found a semi-automatic handgun in the car. They say they believe the suspect was mentally disturbed and acted alone. Now authorities are trying to piece together all the crime scenes and a motive.
We have obtained and we are currently analyzing both written and videotaped evidence that suggests that this atrocity was a premeditated mass murder.
Detectives are looking at a YouTube video entitled Retribution, which has since been removed from the site. It was posted by a young man who went on a rant about women ignoring and rejecting him. One witness says she was approached by the gunman Friday night.
I turned around and I started walking the other way. And he shot, and I just felt the wind pass right by my face.
Within the hour, in fact, within the past 5 minutes, and this is ongoing, authorities have held a news conference with an update on the investigation into this bizarre and terrifying string of events. Here's the latest.
I'd like to start by confirming the identity of the suspect in this case. His name was Elliot Oliver Robertson Rodger, R-O-D-G-E-R. His date of birth was July 24th, 1991, a 22-year-old Eurasian male, a student of Santa Barbara City College who was living in Isla Vista.
So they've established the gunman's identity. Police have added they had 3 previous encounters with Rodger. Once when he said he was the victim of an assault. And within the past hour, 3 more bodies have been found at a nearby apartment. There are several crime scenes. 10 so far have been identified. Sheriff's deputies believe there may be more victims of this attack they simply haven't found yet. Later in this hour, we'll be talking to an expert about the warning signs for crimes such as this and how we can try to prevent them in the future.
In other news tonight, the Otay Mesa border crossing back open after a Border Protection Agency agent shot at a suspected carjacker trying to get into Mexico. A little after 9 this morning in San Ysidro in the 4500 block of Border Village Drive, police say an Hispanic man in his 30s forced a woman and her 7-year-old son out of their truck, and he took the truck and drove away. As it approached the Otay Mesa crossing, an agent fired at the driver, but he didn't stop. The driver crossed the border into Mexico. That truck later found in Tijuana, but that suspect is still out there.
Another holiday weekend, another march outside San Diego's largest tourist attraction. The protest continued today at SeaWorld.
Sea will breed for greed. Sea will breed for greed. Sea will breed for greed.
The group, called Empty the Tanks Worldwide, staging a protest against what they call the enslavement of animals. Organizers say the demonstration was held today in 50 cities around the world. Their goal, to persuade people not to buy tickets to SeaWorld or other attractions where animals perform.
A killer whale and orca can swim thousands of miles a day, and in SeaWorld they have a pool. It's not fair. Baby orcas are ripped away from their families, so are dolphins, and it's just not right.
Well, SeaWorld sent us a statement countering the protests. Here's part of it. The truth is, says the statement, that our killer whales, as well as all of our animals, live happy, healthy lives and thrive in our care. The statement goes on. There is no organization more passionately committed to the physical, mental, and social care and well-being of animals than SeaWorld.
And SeaWorld also under attack by the group PETA. Did you hear about this? A new ad unveiled yesterday at Lindbergh Field. Here's KUSI's Sasha Fu with that story.
As arriving passengers at Lindbergh Field grab their bags, some might notice this ad, a new full-color advertisement featuring the smiling face of actress and San Diego native Kathy Najimy, and a straight-to-the-point message, don't go to SeaWorld.
We're calling on them to ignore all the flyers and other ads they'll see for the park and steer clear of it.
That's their opinion, and some people will agree, some people won't.
The sponsor of the ad is the animal rights group PETA, a vocal critic of SeaWorld and its live orca shows. Their claims that the killer whales are mistreated and suffer in captivity were echoed in the controversial film Blackfish.
Orcas out in the wild will swim up to 100 miles a day in the open ocean in complex and tightly knit social groups. But at SeaWorld, they have nothing to do but swim endless circles in barren cement tanks full of chemically treated water.
But the airport authority and the airport's advertising vendor did not want to give the ad any space. It took a lawsuit filed by PETA and the American Civil Liberties Union to get the airport to back down. In a settlement announced this week, PETA will pay $17,500 to run the anti-SeaWorld message for 1 month.
I think they take care of their animals. I don't think they intentionally hurt these animals.
San Diegan Gloria Levi is skeptical about the ad and its criticism of SeaWorld.
It's almost like you're slapping them as well, so like they've done something wrong when I don't think they would.
The director of the ACLU in San Diego says government can't put a muzzle on certain viewpoints just because it doesn't agree with them.
I think it's just freedom of speech. People can do that. Voice their opinion, what they want to say.
But tourism officials are less worried about curbing free speech, more concerned about dollars and cents.
It will do harm and damage to the tourism economy. We have 165,000 people that work in the tourism economy every year.
This advertisement might turn some people's heads, but will it actually turn people away from SeaWorld?
Maybe they'll make them think twice about it. Yeah.
It's in the wall. It's not going to be as noticeable as if it was a banner.
I just hate to see this because it's painting a bad picture at a time that people are looking to come to San Diego to enjoy all the great attractions we have.
Sasha Fu, KUSI News.
Despite the recent negativity, SeaWorld is putting its best foot forward for visitors this summer. SeaWorld San Diego announcing summer nights at SeaWorld. The park will stay open longer through the summer. Guests are invited to, quote, stay and play. There will be evening attractions, including new shows, a fireworks display, and a dance club for all ages. SeaWorld will also be launching a tribute program for the first responders to the wildfires. That will provide free admission to them in June and July.
Things got out of hand last night in Ocean Beach, a SWAT standoff, and tonight 2 people are under arrest. It happened just after 9 last night on Cable Street, right here. You see police at the ready, guns drawn. Police responded to reports of 2 men fighting, one of them holding a shotgun. Officers arrived on scene. You can hear the SWAT commander ordering the folks out. They immediately surrounded the house. A fight was reported at the house. It was only a matter of minutes before they had 2 suspects in handcuffs.
2 males were actually fighting, and one of them was armed with a shotgun. One of those males fled the scene prior to the arrival of our officers. One of the other male suspect who supposedly had the shotgun was found behind the residence. He was not armed at that time. He was taken into custody. He was somewhat uncooperative with the officers who originally responded. He was taken into custody.
The other man involved in the incident took off. Police are still looking for him tonight. Police also arrested a woman near the scene. They tell KUSI tonight she was either drunk or high on drugs.
A DUI checkpoint in Pacific Beach led to 8 arrests last night. The SDPD and CHP ran that checkpoint for about 4 hours. More than 1,000 cars passed through. 19 drivers were questioned, 8 arrested, 12 vehicles impounded. This was made possible by a DUI mini grant. The grant came from the California Office of Traffic Safety, which also leads the National Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign. Don't do it at all this weekend. Anticipate more of those checkpoints. In honor of Memorial Day, the USS Midway held a Veterans Remembrance Ceremony today. This year marks the 70th anniversary of the Normandy landing, which was recognized with a speech from the French Consul General. The ceremony celebrated veterans from World War II, including survivors of Pearl Harbor.
It means that people are having a sense of patriotism and realizing that many young men gave their lives that they can enjoy the freedom of this day. And to me, it's nostalgic to realize that literally thousands of our good American boys gave their lives not only in the Pacific, but in the Atlantic as well.
The event also featured a speech from Congressman Scott Peters and a flyby from Air Group 1.
Well, it doesn't get any more traditionally American than what our KUSI camera captured today. Take a look. San Diego youngsters competing in the All-American Soapbox Derby. A perfectly paved, perfectly sloped street in Sherman Heights was the racetrack of dreams today for more than 30 kids competing in the annual All-American Soapbox Derby. The pilots built these streamlined gravity-powered racing cars themselves. Grown-ups not allowed, except to make sure nobody gets hurt. The director of the Derby explains why this event is important for kids in our community.
It's all about building friendships, strengthening family ties, learning sportsmanship, and learning some skills that will, technical skills that will stay with them the rest of their lives. Side of the bracket.
Some of San Diego's elected leaders showed up to cheer on the competitors, including Council Member David Alvarez and Congressman Juan Vargas.
The San Diego Padres are giving a major shout out to all the first responders from last week's wildfires. In just a few minutes, they'll put on a major ceremony and thank and recognize all who are being credited for saving so many homes. KUSI's John Soderman joins us live now from Petco Park with more. John.
I tell you, John and Kristen, this is a story that you would love to be covering. It's going to be such a special night. There's going to be so much emotion as they honor these first responders. But let's show you what things look like about an hour ago as we were down on the field for batting practice, and we noticed something very special. The players were wearing caps that didn't say Padres. They had all the names of all the different fire agencies in San Diego County. This is their way of giving a shout out to the first responders who did such a great job. But there's also another reason this night is so special for the Padres. When they were on the road in Cincinnati, many of the players and just team members were worried that their houses were going to burn down. GM Josh Burns was one of those. Iconic announcer Ted Leitner, also his family had to be evacuated. So it was a very, very tense time for them. A little while ago, I interviewed Will Venable, and I asked him this question. Will, could you just give a shout out to the firefighters about what they did when you guys were on the road?
Yeah, big thanks to the firefighters, first responders. I know, a lot of people are affected by that. To have those guys out there risking everything, keep people safe means a lot. So thank you guys.
Real quickly, the firefighters prevented so many homes from burning down. Would you say they had more saves than Trevor Hoffman?
Yeah, they did a great job. We're appreciated for that. But yeah, for sure, more than Hoffman.
Couldn't resist that. More saves than Trevor Hoffman. But it's going to be a very, very special night here. There's going to be a flyby where the firefighting helicopters are going to fly over this the ballpark. It's going to be a very emotional night. We'll have the full story tonight at 10:11. At Petco Park, John Soderman, KUSI News.
All right, thank you, John. You almost stumped your interview subject there. Persistence pays off. That may be the last lesson learned for graduating seniors today at Cal State San Marcos. Graduation ceremonies 1 week late. The commencement delayed when the Cocos fire broke out and forced officials to shut down and evacuate campus. KUSI's Allie Wagner has more on that story.
Just over a week ago, the Cocos fire came a little too close for comfort to the campus of Cal State San Marcos.
Really terrible to watch, but I'm so glad that the firefighters were able to do everything they did and just help out our school and everyone in the area and keep us all safe so that we could have this day. And it means so much to me and my family.
It was really scary because they said canceled. So we were like, oh my gosh, they're not going to have it. We're not going to get to walk and we're not going to get to celebrate with our family. But once we got to see it in TV that the campus was almost on fire, we were like, it's understanding that they would cancel it.
After being postponed, the commencement ceremony for over 2,500 students taking place this weekend.
A big accomplishment, not just for myself, but for the program and all the other graduates that are graduating or those that are going to up and come and graduate. They get to see all of us do this.
It's really big relief, but I'm also kind of scared at the same time. I have to be a big girl and enter the big world, so we got to find that big person job, and it's only fate will see where I go. It's only good places from here.
As the graduation takes place on Saturday, it's not just the students that are getting back to normal, it's the entire San Marcos community.
Oh, things were postponed and other businesses were opening their doors for the first time, and that had to be delayed. But we're pretty resilient. It's wonderful to get back to normal.
At the end of the day, the community pulled together and everyone was safe. Most of everybody's property and lives were safe. So the fire department did a wonderful job. It's just been incredible.
But the community really rallied together. So many people were calling each other, do you need help? I mean, those kids deserve to have that graduation. When I found out it was canceled last week, I felt so bad for them. They worked so hard. And we really bounced back well. And I'm really proud of my city.
From San Marcos, I'm Allie Wagner, KUSI News.
Big people jobs, right? Commencement weekend also kicking off at the University of San Diego today. Ceremonies held for grad students in the schools of business, leadership, education sciences, nursing, and peace. More than 2,000 students will get their diplomas from USD this month. Tomorrow there will be 2 ceremonies for the undergrads.
Somebody got a diploma in peace?
Peace.
Okay.
How cool is that?
Good. I want to work with that person. Hey, city lifeguards are driving new SUVs in case you hadn't noticed this Memorial Day weekend. And as we all get ready to hit the beach this summer, they're also trying to drive home, a very important point. Now, don't worry, he's not wearing swim trunks. Here's KUSI's Ed Lenderman.
Don't get any better. It's the best fleet we've ever had.
Kevin Faulconer will tell you he doesn't get to events at the beach nearly as often these days, now that he's mayor and not representing the beach area as a city council member. But there he was Friday morning, along with a host of other city officials, including his council replacement Ed Harris, as Toyota officially presented the city with 34 new vehicles for beach patrol. The city entered into a corporate partnership agreement with Toyota 2 years ago. The contract has been renewed for another 2 years, so out with the old Toyotas and in with the new. Harris helped broker the deal when he was head of the Lifeguards Union. He was live with us on Good Morning San Diego.
Toyota recognized that we were in a budget crisis in the city, and Toyota came out and said, hey, we'd like to help you. And so by them giving us 34 trucks, in essence, replaced our training program. So we were able to use the money that we would normally have to put into new vehicles, and the city allowed us to use that for training.
Speaking of training, the event also served as an occasion to remind everyone, as the official start of summer is just days away, about everyone's responsibility to be safe in the water. We may not have had as many storms this winter to tear up the bottom, but rip currents are always a concern, especially early in the season.
People come to the beach with a group. Sometimes there's people with superior skill. The people without the swimming skills or the surfing skills want to go and not be left behind, but it is important to know your limitations.
Parents, first thing you do, check with the lifeguard about the safest place to swim, and keep your family in front of the lifeguard stand. And while it may be nice to head for a more secluded beach,
1 in a million chance of, or 1 in 18 million chance of drowning if you go to a beach where there's lifeguard protection. So we do a real good job at water observation. We keep people from drowning. We make about 4,000 to 6,000 rescues a year. We take it very seriously, but we can't help you if we're not there to oversee and protect you.
here's the idea. Everybody goes home healthy and happy at the end of the day, including at the end of Memorial Day. In Mission Beach, Ed Lenderman, KUSI News.
So let's find out what the weekend has in store weather-wise.
Dave, I'm kind of hoping not more of the same. I didn't see the sun all day.
I know.
But we'll take it, right?
Yeah,
because didn't we just go through an amazing week?
Yeah, how soon we forget, right?
How soon we forget.
Yeah.
We were all begging for May Gray, and now we finally are seeing it.
There it
and
is.
it is making things nice and wonderful. So it is, that's definitely the gray skies, and they're still okay. We'll have more coming up in just a little while. Right now, 66 degrees at Lindbergh Field with May Gray. Back to you.
Thank you for reminding us, Dave. Yeah, this is what we were asking for. Okay, coming up in tonight's health report, we all know it's important for pregnant women to eat right, but A new study reveals now how bad junk food can be for baby.
And for many of us, Memorial Day weekend is the unofficial kickoff for summer. We'll show you how to look and feel your best all
Like
summer
that?
long. Sure, stay with us.